All right, hello class. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the work for that we continue, or actually I'm just going to start again with the work that we were doing in class yesterday. So once you're inside Cengage, you're going to be going to Word Module 2 to apply it. And we're doing Project 1A, Word Module 02, creating a research paper. All right, get that going there, click Start. We want to download both of these files, the instructions and the start file. My computer opens these up, but I really don't want. I want to open them up myself. But we have them both, here in the folder now, right? We can minimize our browser. We don't need it right now. Right, so first thing it's going to tell us in the instructions, let me bring this open here. All right, it's going to tell us to save the file as basically wants us to change the file name from _1 to _2, right? A couple of different ways you can do that. You can simply, which is what I usually do, which I've shown you before. We're going to right click on this and say rename, and we're just simply going to change it to press enter, right? That's one way to do it. You could, if the name was still that, you could open it up and you can do a file, save as. Right, we want to go back to the same place. I like to keep things in the same place. And we can click here and change the name to _2. All right, so what that did for us is, all right, so we still have the original file and we have the file that we're going to be working with. So if you want to do it that way, you can. But in the end, you just want to make sure you submit the correct file, which would be the _2. Either way, to do it is fine. The key is you just got to make sure you've got that username there, or that file name when you submit it. All right, so I've got the instructions here. The first project step, matter of fact, hold on just a second. All right, brief pause there. Sorry about that. I had to, I know that was just dead air for a minute, so let me just keep moving here. All right, so the project step 1 here, you're writing a research paper for your marketing principles class. The topic of the paper is generational marketing. You must write the paper in the MLA style and include suggestions from your professor. All right, so the rest of this document basically just outlines the suggestions from your professor wanted you to change in the document. So that's what we're going to do. So we got our documents downloaded and we've renamed it already. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it back up. All right, so let me take the instructions here and put them on my other screen so I can see them. And I'll maximize this right here. All right, so the very first thing we're going to change the style to MLA of the document. So I'm going to go to References, right? And I'm right here underneath, we're on the References tab under the Citations and Bibliography group. I'm going to drop down this box here and I'm going to change it to MLA. And it is that easy to get to step 1 done. All right, mark that through as done. All right, step 2, to conform to MLA guidelines, modify the normal style as follows. All right, so to modify the normal style, you got to be in the Styles group, which you find on the Home tab. Home tab in the Styles group. This is the normal style here. All right, I'm going to right click on the normal style. I'm going to say modify. It's going to bring up this dialog box here where we can make the changes. Step A, change the normal style font to Times New Roman. All right, here's our font area, Times New Roman, right? The size we're going to change to 12 point because that's step B, change the normal style font size to 12 point. And we're going to change the normal style line spacing to double, which is this right here. Right, so now you see it, actually all the changes we made are actually outlined down here now. Times New Roman 12 point, line spacing double. All right, so we got them all done, so we're going to do OK. And you actually see this document visibly changes there. All right, so just to see what we just did these items here, 2, A, B, and C. All right, step 3, we're going to apply the modified normal style to the first 4 paragraphs in the document from Lee Bayo to 8 September 2021. So they're talking about the first 4 paragraphs. They're talking about these right here. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to apply the normal style. Easy enough. All right, step 3 completed. Moving on to step 4. Center the paragraph generational marketing, varying online content by generation. All right, I'm going to highlight that and then I'm going to choose up here on the Home tab under the paragraph group the center button. Now it is in the center. Step 4 complete. All right, step 5, insert a header as follows. All right, so we're going to insert a blank header at the top of the page. All right, so I'm going to go to my insert area. I'm going to go over to the header and I'm going to choose blank. Now we have a header, a blank header at the top of the page, and we want to right align the header paragraph. So now that we have that chosen, I'm going to go back to Home. I'm going to go to right align and it's going to move right align that there. It wants us to use Bayo as the header text, B-A-O. And then it wants us to insert a space and then insert a plain number, page number from the current position gallery. All right. So I'm going to go to insert, I'm going to go to page number, I'm going to go down to current position, I'm going to choose plain. If you need to see that again, I'd suggest you pause and rewind that. All right, so it tells us then to close and the header and footer tools. That isn't an option that I see on my screen here, so I'm just going to double click down in the main area and that will close the header and footer. Now we're down back in the main area again. So that takes us all the way through step 5. All right, here we are through step 5. Step 6, create a first line indent of 0.5 inches for the body paragraph beginning with when providing online content and ending with ebooks and articles. So we just got to find those paragraphs that it's talking about. So here is when providing online content right here. And the other one, ebooks and articles, ending with ebooks and articles, which takes us all the way to here. All right, so I'm basically just going to select all of that text to there, right? Then I'm going to go to my home, and then I'm going to paragraph group. I'm going to choose this button here, which will open up the paragraph group dialog box. All right, on this paragraph group dialog box, there's an indentation area. Under special, I'm going to choose first line, and then I'm just going to leave this value alone because 0.5 inches is what we want. That's the default setting. So I'm going to click OK, and you will see each paragraph now has that first line indent applied. All right, that is step 6 completed. I'm going to save this at this point. All right, step 7. Respond to the comment from your professor in the first body paragraph. So step A, it wants us to read the comment and delete it. And then we're going to do this step B right here, which is to go in and address what the comment's about. So let's just see. So the comment right here is, you might need to cite a source for this information. It's not quite common knowledge. See how this comment is pointing toward the sentence that it highlights here when you select it. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this comment because that is the instruction. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose the space between the end of the sentence and this period right here. My instructions moved on me. Oh, there they are. Okay. Before the period in the sentence, these groups include, which is where we are, these groups include, before the period, right there between it. Insert a citation to a new source using the information shown in figure 1. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do insert citation, new source. I just bring up this box here for us to fill things out. I've got that information inside the instructions, so I'm just going to type it in right here. The type of source is a website. We're going to do a corporate author, and we're going to do Pew Research Center. Name of web page, generation study. The year. This is the year of the, the article on the page. The year the article was accessed. The medium. All right, this little area right here, this is auto-generated, so we don't have to change that. Say okay. Now we have a reference right here, a reference placeholder. All right, that completes step 7. Step 8, insert a citation to the existing Chatsfield source before the period at the end of the sentence. Campaign designers segment to suit specific generations. That is this sentence here. So we're going to, it says, insert a citation before the period. All right, so we can go right there before the period. I'm going to do insert citation to an existing source, which is this Chatsfield source here. So it inserts that there. We didn't have to add all the information because it's already built for us. Assuming you had been working on this, you would have done this before, right? In the same sentence, use a thesaurus to replace the word customize with a less formal synonym that starts with the letter T. All right, so customize right here, I'm going to choose it, double click on it, then I'm going to right click and I'm going to say, choose some synonyms for that. One that starts with a T is Taylor. I like Taylor, I'm going to go with it. Good, so that completes step 9. All right, step 10, in the fourth body paragraph, find the research citation and edit the source to use to as the day accessed. All right, so I'm going to look for, it's in the fourth body paragraph, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is the item here, research. I'm going to right click on that and I'm going to say edit source, and I'm going to change the day accessed to 2 as per the instructions. I'm going to OK that. I think this is about where we were before, so let's just keep moving forward. All right, in the right, it says here in the same paragraph before the period at the end of the sentence, another similarity in white papers, insert a citation to a new source using the information shown in figure 2. So we're going to create an input information for another source again. So same paragraph as Risser, but further down, different sentence. Another similarity, this one right here. Before the period at the end of the sentence. All right, we're going to do in references, we're going to do insert a citation to a new source. And we got the information that we're going to, let me get to that so I can do that again. All right, so this time this is an article in a periodical. The author is Rivera Pedro. The title is Generation Gaps. Periodical title Market Analysis. The year 2020, the month June, the day 5, pages 20. The medium is print. This will be auto-generated, or is auto-generated, so our instructions don't tell us that. All right, so we see Rivera there as a source. That completes step 11. Brings us to step 12. Edit the advanced citation in the 5th paragraph to add 14 as the page number. All right, we're going to edit source, pages, oh, I did that wrong, sorry. We're going to edit the citation, pages 14. That actually adds 14 to the line because it actually are showing it's on page 14 of that item right there. This is the difference between editing a citation and editing a source. Okay, so I'm marking that out. Step 13, to provide additional information at the end of the 5th paragraph, move the insertion point immediately after the period in the sentence. The least favorite consumers ongoing, and insert a footnote with the following text. So the 5th paragraph. The least favorite consumers ongoing experience. Consumers ongoing experience is what we're looking for here. To provide additional information at the end of the 5th paragraph, move insertion point, 5th paragraph. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Customers insert. So we're going to period after the sentence. So I'm going to place it after the period in the sentence, and I'm going to insert a footnote. Here we go. I'm going to, up here on the References tab on the Footnotes group, I'm going to click on the Insert Footnote button, and I'm going to put the text they wanted me to do here. Good enough. All right, that was step 13. All right, step 14, modify the footnote text style by changing its font size to 12 point, the line spacing to double, and the indentation to 0.5 first line indent. All right, so I'm going to change the footnote text style. All right, so with the footnote chosen, I right click on it and go to Style, and we can make those changes here. All right, so the first change it wants is the font size to 12 point. I'm going to modify right here. I'm going to choose the size as 12 point. All right, and the line spacing to double. And what else? And the indentation to 0.5 for first line indent. So in order to get to that, I'm going to have to go to Format, Paragraph, and under indentation, I'm going to choose first line indent, and 0.5 inches is the default. Okay, apply. Right. All right, step 15. In the main body of the document, find all instances of the text customers and replace with consumers. All right, so I'm just going to start here at the beginning of this. I'm going to do a Control H on my keyboard. Hold the Control button, press H, and it brings up this Find and Replace box right here. We want to find anywhere it says customers, and we want to replace it with consumers. We can say replace all, finds 2, and that's what the instructions say we should find, so that's good. All right, here we are. We're on step 15, working our way to step 21. Step 16, on page 2, read the remaining comment from Nancy Tokai and then reply with it with thanks. All right, easy enough. It's thanks with an exclamation point. Step 16, done. All right, so step 17, modify the works cited paragraph as follows to match the MLA style. Move the insertion point to the beginning of the works cited paragraph and then insert a manual page break, center the works cited paragraph on the new page. All right, so we're going to scroll down here to where it says works cited. We're going to insert a page break. I don't believe that was necessary in our case, but it's what it would look like. It would move it to a new page, and then we're going to take this and we're going to highlight it, and we're going to center it by going up to the Home tab, Paragraph Group, to the Center button. Moves us to 18. Move the insertion point to the left aligned blank paragraph at the end of the document, and then use the insert bibliography command to insert a list of sources without a built-in heading. All right, so we're going to move the insertion point to the left aligned blank paragraph at the end of the document. So I'm going to click it here, and you see that's where it is. Left aligned blank paragraph at the end of the document. I'm going to insert a bibliography command. So I'm going to go back to references. Look for the bibliography button. Actually, that may be under, yeah, here we go. So I'm going to click down here. Got all these different options. The one at the bottom is insert bibliography. So it inserts all of our references that we've been keeping up with there. And it doesn't have a built-in heading, so we chose the right one. So we are good there. We added that heading manually there. All right, in the big bibliography, the year is missing from the Schwabel source. You'll see Schwabel here. It doesn't have a year in it. Find the Schwabel source in the body of the document and edit it to provide 2020 as the year. So I'm going to go back up here and find Schwabel, which is right here. I'm going to right click and say edit source, and the year is 2020. All right, I'm going to scroll back down here and you'll see that it made no change to this. It's still Schwabel, still is listed without the year, but we're going to fix that in the next step. Step 20. So let me show you that. Step, update the bibliography field so that the works cited list reflects the edit you made. All right, so I'm just going to choose this. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to say update field. All right, and now you'll see the Schwabel actually has that 2020 date in there now. All right, step 20, update the bibliography field so that the works cited list reflects the edit you made to the Schwabel source. Oh, we did that, sorry. We just did that. So we're actually down to the very last step. check spelling and grammar in the document and correct any spelling errors. All right, I'm going to go back up to the top of the document here. All right, I'm going to go to Review tab, and I'm going to click the Spelling and Grammar button. It's going to finds online as misspelled. It gives me the suggested spelling here. I'm going to double click on it. Spell check is complete. I'm going to save it. That was our last and final instruction, I believe. Let's see here. There is an example of what the document should look like in the instructions, but we got it. I've got everything marked off as completed. So I'm just going to save this and submit it. Let's see what happens. I'm going to save it. I'm going to close it. All right, then I'm going to bring back up the browser. This is where we were here. I'm going to click that file there. That's the one we want. Our names match. I'm going to submit it. Summary report. Looks like I made a couple of mistakes somewhere. This is this. I mentioned this in class yesterday. This one right here, I can't figure out where that is. So that's not a problem. Let's see what else I messed up on. Let's see. Apparently I didn't type. I mistyped market analysis, so that's my fault. And what else? And then this one right here, even though it didn't need a page break, it still wanted me to do one, so I should have done that. So make sure you do that. But otherwise, we got everything else done and proper, so I think this is a good attempt. Let me know if these instructions help. All right, see you in class next time. Thanks, bye.